Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to FYI. We trust that you all are well this morning. We trust that you guys are great. It's been a long weekend. We trust you're fired up and you are ready to go, ready to hit the ground running. Beatrice Selby and Dolly Anderson, Maureen Williams, and all the other folks who are joining us. I see a lot of you folks joining us, and where are you coming in from? Share the live and smash that emoji button for us this morning. We got a couple of things to get through. We hope that you guys are great coming out of this long weekend. You had a chance to get some time for yourself, some you time, some me time. We hope you guys got a chance to do that. You touch base with some friends and family, and it's all going to be well. It's all going to be well with the new week, a short week, albeit it's already Tuesday, the second day of May. Believe it or not, already Tuesday, the second day of May. Chambi Gibbs, we see you there, and Anthony Leon, and all the other folks joining us. We are delighted that you folks are here with us. We got a couple of things to get through in the morning papers, and so we're fired up at this end, good folks, and we are ready to go, and we hope that you guys are ready to go as well. A couple of the things as we coming in, we want to touch on in the morning papers, good folks. A couple of things we want to touch on in the morning papers. But good to see each and every one of you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, we're changing paces very fast. Don't want the time to run and leave us. The morning papers, folks, is where we're coming in from. And thanks you guys, wherever you all are joining us from this morning. Wherever you all are coming in from this morning, we are happy that you guys are here with us. You always come and you spend this time with us. It means the world to us. It means the world to us. So good to have each and every one of you here with us, guys, as we're going to change paces in just a little bit. But good to have you folks here with us, wherever you all are rocking and coming from. Again, great to have each and every one of you. Delighted. Delighted. How are you folks doing? Do let us know. How are you folks doing out there? How are you good folks doing? Do let us know how the weekend was and what's up for breakfast. We got a cup of hot coffee at our end, simmering here. Let me take a sip just now. But again, really glad to see so many of you on the live this morning. Share the live, smash that emoji button for us, guys, and let's have a go at it. Let's have a go at it. Wherever you're coming in from this morning, welcome to our broadcast. Wherever you are joining us from this morning, welcome to our broadcast. Those of you who are joining us across social media, some of you are joining us on Twitter. We want to see those likes on Twitter. We want to see some retweets as well on Twitter. All our Twitter folks, good to have you on board. Those guys who are joining us on Facebook, our largest audience, joins us on Facebook, and we're grateful for you guys. And then we have our tubers coming along very nicely. All of the guys joining us on YouTube, good to have you on, and LinkedIn, our folks on LinkedIn as well, and the other places that we get through to across social media. Those of you who are joining us at home here in Guyana, where we're broadcasting from, the national capital city here in Georgetown, and those of you who are joining us internationally, we're happy to have each and every one of you. Claire Alexis Chomley Richmond joins us internationally. Margaret Morris is here as well, and Magnell Barrow is here. Guys, we're delighted to have all of you join us this morning from the various places. Good to have all of you on the live. Gail Honeycock is here too. Gail is joining us internationally too. And Vesta Hardy, Rajkumar, Fish Golliver is here. Andrew Cosbert is here as well. Where's Andrew Griffith this morning? Lynn Fernandez is here. We want to say good morning to you, Lynn and Lena. Good to have you folks. And all the other guys who are joining us. The comments are going by a little fast. Forgive us if we don't mention each and every one of the names. Siobhan, I see Beatrice saying hey to Siobhan, so assuming Siobhan is on too. Good to have you, Siobhan. And Bagnell says that she got some reindeer in Brooklyn. Make the best of it. Make the best of it. Some reindeer in Brooklyn, folks. Good to have you. And as Lynn Fernandez is saying, happy Tuesday, folks. Happy Tuesday. And I think that's maybe the best way that we can start it. Happy Tuesday. And as we said, we want to shift gears a little bit very early and very quickly and head into the morning papers and some of what we're covering from that front. But good to have you folks on the live. Good to have you, good people. Good to have you on the live. How are things outside your window this morning, guys? How are things outside your window? If our connection wasn't buffering so much, we'd show you what's happening outside our window. It's a clear shot of the Jamwara Harbor Bridge from our end. A clear shot, but our connection is buffering a little bit. And we want to give you guys nothing but the best. We don't like the buffering. Buffering. See? It's a buffering for us and we don't like it. But we are happy, very happy and delighted that you folks have joined us on the live. Changing gears a little bit, guys. We want to get into some of those headlines. For those of you new to our program, this is how we start. And we welcome you to our little community here, guys. This is how we start the broadcast, bringing you a little bit about what's happening. Some of the headlines we're plucking out of the morning papers. And that's where we're starting this morning. How are you guys doing out there? Claudine Dukwa. Claudine, joining us from Kokwani. How are you doing, Claudine? Claudine says it's sunny in Kokwani. We're happy about that. We're happy about that because we know when the rain comes too much, what happens in Kokwani. June Cameron is here with us as well. June, how are you doing? June and Claire Capel. Claire. How are you doing, Claire? Good to see all the Claires are out this morning. And they said Marlene Sampson is here too. Marlene, thanks for the thing. Marlene. Thanks for the thing. Some folks ensure that we are on every day and we can bring credible, valid information for you folks. And Merlin is one of those folks who help us to do that. Thank you so much, Merlin. Thanks for the things. Merlin. Judy Holder and Margaret Morris. All the other folks, Colin Papo. I thought it was Crapo for a second, but it's Papo, Popo, Colin Popo. Yep. And Colin says, Jack, you're them only buffering. It's true. It's true. Buffering. But good to have all of you guys on the live this morning. A couple of the headlines we're following. A couple, not plenty. We're just going to show you guys a couple of those headlines that we are tracking this morning. Again, good to see each and every one of you on the live. The U.S., overnight they were tracking another balloon. Remember the Chinese spy balloon? The Chinese spy balloon, yeah. U.S. tracking another one. They were tracking another one overnight. Don't know if they intercepted it. Hasn't have that update as yet. But we know those guys were tracking. Another spy balloon. Well, another balloon, another mysterious balloon, the headline says. Another mysterious balloon is being tracked by U.S. officials. Yeah. Vashti Magnot, we see you there. Good to see you, Vashti. And Rupert, good to see you guys there. Joining us from Canada. Is yours back? We be able to say we got international program, Those of you joining us from all around the world, we thank you guys for being a part of our community here. Beatrice, Ayabo Natasha joining us from Europe. Yep. That's for the United Kingdom there, right? Joining us from Europe is you guys enable us to say we have an international morning program because, we ain't got the antenna up someplace, but you guys can pick us up. Thanks for the advent of social media from all around the world. And we're so grateful, right? So grateful. Vesta Hardy Rajkumar says Guyana has its own spy balloon. We don't come in there. We come in there, folks. We come into there. Smash that emoji button for us, guys. It's a smash that emoji button for us. It's going to help us a great lot, a long way. It's going to help us a far way. So smash that emoji button for us. Share our broadcast as well. Do that for us so the U.S. authorities tracking that spy balloon. Look what else we're following, guys. Look what else we're following. All right. City Hall in its Labor Day message says that it supports our working class. Mayor Narayan, outgoing Mayor Ubraj Narayan, he says City Hall supports the working class. And we're going to bring some more comments on Labor Day later on in our broadcast. You don't want to go no place. That's coming up. We're going to bring some comments from the leader of the opposition, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, and also the General Secretary of the Trade Union Congress in Guyana. We're going to bring some comments from the General Secretary, Mr. Lincoln Lewis, and leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey Norton, on Labor Day. But City Hall says that they support the workers. They supporting workers. And you don't have to guess that with Mayor Ubraj Narain. You know, he's a man of the people. His heart is with the people. Yeah, so he supports the working class. You know, that's something them boys forget. You know, they've said that buffering, that's something that they forget. Right? They have forgotten the working class. Yeah. But we have not forgotten. That's why we're going to bring you some of the thoughts and comments of the folks that we're following on that, on International Labor Day yesterday. Right? We're going to bring some of the thoughts and comments on that. National Labor Day yesterday. Look at this other headline that we're following, folks. Another headline that we're following. This one says that FYI met with the ambassadors to Russia and Cuba quite recently. The ambassador to Russia and Cuba. Good for him. Good for him. God knows we ought to improve our diplomatic relations with the countries of this world. But your boy Todd, he hasn't been up to scratch, you know. Your boy Todd, he has not been up to scratch at all. Donald Joseph, you all know the truth we're talking. Valid and credible. We only want valid viewers and credible comments. Debbie Collins, Ormadon, Beatrice Selby, you know, you all know the truth we're talking. You know, I see former Deputy Mayor has joined us, Akeem Peters. Welcome, our brother and friend. Welcome. You know, give me a shout. Let me know how you're doing. I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. Hope all is well. Former Deputy Mayor, I see has joined us. Former Deputy Mayor Akeem Peters. Yep, good to have you. Those are when good people were in the system. But we hope those days come back. We hope those days. I had a privilege serving with people like Akeem Peters. We had the late Lionel Jai Karan. You know, we had our friend Philip Smith. Yeah, you know, these were we had this city at heart, and we hope we get some more councillors like that. And I have no doubt we have some more councillors like that coming in, especially in the APNU camp. I have no doubt. But good seeing our brother and friend Akeem Peters, former Deputy Mayor, on the live this morning. Good to see you, Champo. Good to see you, Champ. Good to see you. So another one of the headlines we're following, you know, this meeting of the President here. Finally, install, albeit install. Right? Good to see that meeting happening. We gotta boost our diplomatic relations. And again, you know, we used to have some heavyweights in foreign policy in this country. You know, that couldn't even bring water for them. You know, that was unworthy to tie the shoelaces. Unworthy to tie their shoelaces. You see? Now he's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You know? A lot of folks are asking where all this money coming from. The sheriff billing all of these things with hospital here, hospital there, hotel, you know, headquarters for security service. But we happy for them. We happy for them. We happy for them, you know. We happy for them. When we start making money, you all over vex with us, you know. You see? We happy. You got business people who are doing things correctly, everything above board, and, you know, adding jobs to the market and so on. We happy. No trouble there. No trouble there. But a lot of folks asking, suddenly Sheriff got all of these billions and billions. Where all this money coming from? Right? We got some answers. Right? We're not ready to reveal them as yet. We got to make sure we dot we I's, cross we T's. Yep. We got some answers. You think we waiting? You got to do your homework. You know, but we don't want to slander people. We don't want to liable people. We got some answers. You know, when we start making money, don't come wrong. It's funny. Andrew Van Veen, stay up. Stay up. Yep. When Akeem started making money, y'all don't come wrong. Akeem Peters funny. You know, Lord of mercy. We got some clues. We got some clues. But they opened in the hospital over the weekend. Opened the hospital over the weekend there, and was them. Passed there a couple times, you know. Passed there a couple times, and what a sprawl, you know. And lots of the private hospitals that we see, they start very small and then they kind of mushroom. Now this one start right on the blocks, large and in charge, large and in charge. Well, as we said, folks, as we said, we happy for people. Be happy for people. You know, those are some of the headlines we're following this morning. We're plucking out some of the headlines from the morning papers. Some of that is what we're following, folks. Plucking out some of those headlines from the morning papers. We hope that you guys are well. What are some of the headlines? You know, some of you all stubborn. We always ask you, folks, what are some of the headlines making the news where you are, especially those of you in the diaspora? What are some of the headlines making the news where you are? Well, we got to we got to do things for yourself. we gotta do things for ourselves, you know. We gotta go after these headlines for ourselves. That's looking like what we're coming down to. Do these headlines for ourselves. So, guys, we're about to switch gears again and bring you some of those things that are happening internationally. I bring a look at some of those things that are happening regionally as we circle back to base. And then we're going to bring some of those things that are happening, folks, close to where we are. That's the intention. And that is some of the things we are going to be following. So bear with us, good folks. Bear with us, good folks, as we're changing gears a little bit. Bear with us. All right, so a couple of things we're following internationally. And we're going to try to get through them as quickly as we can. We've just lost power at our end. Just another day on this side. We've just lost some power at our end. And we want to make sure that the power that we're on here, we want to make sure that the power that we're on this side suffices. But another day, just out of a holiday, and we got blackout. Folks, it's the most frustrating things in the world to try to work and you don't have adequate power supply. And these guys don't seem to be able to get it right. We were coming out of this, you know. We were coming out of it. And then lo and behold, we are right back there. So the power has gone out. The power has gone out, good folks. And I don't believe we can do a 45 minutes on the backup that we have at this end. But we want to get through it nonetheless. Give you guys a sense of some of the things we are following at our side. Blackout. What about things at your end? You know, blackout at our side, folks. Right? Sadie B says, Sadie DB says, Sadie says, blackout here too. Blackout. You know, blackout. Some of the things we're following, folks. Bipartisan move. That crisis is looming in the U.S. and they're telling us that Biden has invited some of those leaders to the White House. Good sign, good sign. We don't have that kind of bipartisan approach here because them boys believe that they can do everything by themselves. So we watching that, trying to get through some of these issues very quickly and heading to where we need to be. We're 20 minutes into our program, and I don't think we have enough backup power that's going to take us another 40 minutes. Unfortunately. But we're watching this, what's happening in the US, and we say kudos to you guys. You guys have found a way to work together. The PPP still blinded on that front, believing that they can do it by themselves. Yep, part of what we're following. Part of what we are following, good folks. And it looks as though certain things don't want to comply with us this morning. Could we have a go at that? Could we have a go at that? All right, is that going to help us? All right, so, all right, this is not going to be helpful to us. It's that kind, folks. It's blackout at our end. That kind of morning that we're having, and we're trying to move things along, but everything is going topsy turvy. We did talk to you guys about Labor Day events as we were coming in, touching on some of the headlines that was making the news over the weekend and even this morning. And the leader of the opposition, Mr. Norton, had some comments for those persons who were gathered there for Labor Day celebrations yesterday at the Critchlow Labour College. We want to take you guys to some of that. Let's take you guys to some of what we heard out of the leader of the opposition as he spoke yesterday morning to persons who were gathered there at, again, at the Critchlow Labour College. Here are some of the comments coming out of the leader of the opposition.
Leadership of the trade union movement in Guyana, Lincoln Lewis, Coretta MacDonald, and other trade union leaders, past Prime Minister and Mayor, members of Parliament, all workers present. Today we assemble under the theme, building a strong progressive union to respond to the challenges. For us to respond to the challenges, we have to understand the changes. The landscape in Guyana has changed. A few years ago, we were a state-dominated economy. Now, while there are still some state enterprises, a lot of economic activity is in the private sector. It therefore follows that the trade union has to be organized in the private sector, because there will be need for the counterbalance to protect workers' interests. And so I want to underscore that. There are those who try to say politics and trade unionism are separate. I both agree and disagree. I agree in terms of the trade union pursuing its interests. It should be separate. But there is a point of unity. It is government that allocates resources, and the politics comes in when the resources are not allocated properly. And so politically, we're in a battle for the proper allocation of resources. For instance, we believe that with oil revenue, there is the basis to give every Guyanese worker a minimum livable income. But that will only happen through a political decision. We want to promise you today, a government led by us will give you a livable minimum income. There are other challenges to be faced. We live in a society in which a house lot is given, but there is really no mechanism to build your house. Many people lack the capacity to get a mortgage. That is why, as a political institution, we have said to the workers, and we repeated, that we are going to become involved in a rent-to-own project so that our workers can be housed. In a rent-to-own project, you pay rent, but that rent goes as if it is a mortgage, and at the end of the process, you own the house. We call it one of our people-centered programs. We promise you that oil resources will meet you. We promise you in our budget presentations, we outline clearly how we can reduce the cost of living. We promise you we will. I want to urge you as workers not to be carried away by silly handouts. They cannot take you out of poverty. What is needed is measures that can take our people out of poverty. You can have 5,000 now, 150,000, unless you have programs that are going to put you in business. Unless you have programs that are going to educate the worker, improve their professional capability so that they could contribute significantly. I say this to say to you, as I congratulate you, be focused. There are a lot of issues to be addressed. Leadership of the trade union.
Yeah, so those are some of the comments, as we said, coming out of the leader of the opposition, Mr. Albert C. Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform as well, on the occasion of International Labor Day, celebrated yesterday. Labor Day celebrated yesterday as folks were gathered there outside of the Critchlow Labor College, as folks were gathered outside there. And of course, saying there that we got to do better. We got to manage the resources, better for our people. And too many persons are falling between the cracks. Too many persons are falling between the cracks. We had, this is the Alliance for Change. I had an outreach last weekend. We were at Virgin Hoop talking with the folks there. And the complaint across the board, across the ethnic divide in this country, if there is one, was on the issue of economics. The economy, people are suffering, people are hurting, and they're watching on. Who getting all of these billion and billion and billion and billions in contracts and what have you, and people are suffering. People are foolish. People are not foolish. They're watching on, and they're making a note. Watching on and making a note. Yep, correct is right. watching on and making a note. Folks, stay with us as we try to see how much of the program we can bring in this morning. Give us a quick sec. Give us a quick sec. We can be right with you guys. People are foolish. People watching on, looking at what's happening, folks, and coming to coming to conclusions in their own deliberate judgment. In their own deliberate judgment. What are you going to say to that? What are you going to say to that? I see some of you saying, Mr. Norton is absolutely correct, absolutely right. I agree with you. Right? I agree with you. Them boys and catering for the rest of us. Right? You think so? You think they're catering for the rest of us? No, they aren't. No, they are not. It's every man for himself. Just ensuring we have everything aligned correctly at the back end, guys. Give us a quick set. Once we out of power like this, everything gets chaotic. Every man for himself, that's how they're doing things. That's how they're doing things. Every man for himself. You can't build a country like that. And that's why we believe these guys shouldn't even be allowed to run a corner shop. Put them in corner shop in the same sentences to give corner shop a bad name everywhere. To give corner shops everywhere a bad name. Shouldn't be allowed to do that. Shouldn't be allowed to manage even a corner shop. We are halfway where we need to go, folks. We are halfway where we need to go. Father, have his mercies. Bear with us, folks. We're going to be right with you. As I said, blackout at our end. And it's showing everything topsy-turvy. Yep. Again, folks, our apologies. We're really trying, at this end to pull things together. But again, let me switch to another person who made some comments yesterday during the observances of Labor Day, and this is the General Secretary of the Ghana Trade Union Congress, Mr. Lincoln Lewis. Well, he had a mouthful for them. Mr. Lincoln Lewis, he had a mouthful for them, from, this proposal to spy on Guyanese. This is not about national security. This is about spying on Guyanese, and it's about spying on their political opponents. And he brought up this whole issue about healthcare too. And what we're seeing happening in the local market where healthcare is concerned. Just now, poor people, ordinary Guyanese, can't afford healthcare. And some of that was raised by Mr. Lincoln Lewis in his presentation yesterday to those persons who were gathered at the Ghana teacher at the what is that? At the Critchlow Labour College. Father of trade unionism in this country, Hubert and Daniel Critchlow. They were gathered by the college there, and it bears his name in honor of the work he did in trade unionism. And as I said, the General Secretary, Mr. Lincoln Lewis, he had a mouthful for the folks there. Take a look and take a listen.
Each of us here today is representative of that resilience that the trade union requires to fight on. Let me tell you what. Let us understand this very, very clear. That we must have a purpose. And that purpose is to support what is always constant. Change. And as we yearn for improvement. Today, comrades, I see us doing more than we are doing. Let me tell you what. We need to develop the ability to work together. Work together. And as I recognize a number of politicians from the opposition are here, let me say to them that we are not only expecting them only to march today, but to work with us as we prosecute the issues that confront the working class. Whatever we do, we are going to bring it to them, and they will have to take it to the National Assembly. They have attacked and sought, this government has attacked and sought to besmirch the leaders of the trade union movement. I am one whom they try, and they're still trying, but they have failed to do so. They have destroyed the largest pension fund that was owned by workers in this country, the bauxite industry pension fund. They have done that. In as much as And what has happened in the destruction of that fund? All the people who worked in the bauxite industry over the years, who have reached pensionable age, continue to live without a pension. These guys, these men and women are shameless and they don't care about us. They're now working to destroy the credit unions and cooperatives because they intend to take away the lands and all property that are owned by workers in this country. And they're the people who call themselves the working class. They have removed the pension, they have removed the check-off system in the public service. Let me tell you what. I want to tell you this. I have gone through, I have seen, I have lived in this country, and I've been in public life where every president from Burnham coming through who had executive responsibility for this country. I have stood up, I have spoken my mind, but this is the worst I've ever seen. A bunch of men and women who don't want to give space to anybody else but themselves and their cronies. Comrades, they have taken the decision that they are going to put systems in place to make sure that they remain in life, perpetually remain in public office, to do what they want to do. And this takes me to what we call the National Intelligence Bill that they have in the National Assembly. You know what that thing for? Let me tell you what it's for. It is to spy on the citizens of this country. Already we have seen a situation where anybody speak or express another opinion beside that what is said by the Ali Jagdeo regime. If you express another opinion, they take you before the court. What they are doing now is creating a bill to meet the needs of this regime, where they are going to use the police force or the security forces of this country to make sure that if you talk, you will be prosecuted. It is to spy on us. It is to spy on us. We as citizens of this country will have to stand up and make sure that the bill receive all guardrails are put in place to protect people whose right, protect persons, that their fundamental rights and freedoms are not being destroyed. We have to take that position. And they have a call to the government, the opposition, that this bill that has been sent to a select committee, this bill must be given. There must be public hearings because this impinges on rights, determine how we will behave. This bill, in its present form, has not given. What don't exist there is a situation where the people who will execute the duties will not be held accountable. That's the problem that we have. We have that problem, and we need to definitely address it. We cannot allow this bill, and Labor in every form must be able to come before and come make an open presentation to this nation about this bill. This is about rights. It's about the rule of law. It's about your fundamentals in society. We cannot allow them. And this bill goes beyond that. It is structured and being put in place for a group to perpetuate themselves in office And you have no authority at any time. You will have no authority at any time to question what they're doing. But when they're doing this bill, they talk about another one, the anti-terrorism, right? There is another one. But they're making all these bills and they're spending plenty money. But the issue of Article 27 of the Constitution, which speaks about free education from nursery to university, they are not prepared. They are not prepared to honor that. They are prepared to starve the University of Guyana and needed funds to expand and optimize its services to the people here. What they've done, they have established something they call goal. Goal. Which give them the opportunity to say who will go to school, who will get university or higher education or improve standard of education. And it is not only that, of they selecting who must get it. They have the capacity, as you know them, they will do nothing or put no system in place unless they can have some money coming through the back door. Like how Sue money used to come through the back door. The money with Sue used to come through the back door. That is the type of thing. The history of Article 27. It's a right. Free education is a right. And because it's a right, we must not allow any government to say to us that we must wait until 2025 for us to have our rights respected. We cannot have that. Our rights have to be respected now, and we must demand that our rights, particularly or specifically, the right to free education, the right from nursery to university, it must be respected, and we must demand that from this government. The issue of all health services is another one. What they do? They underfund the public health institutions, the Georgetown Public Hospital, the New Amsterdam Hospital, and so forth, the clinics and so on. But you know what they're doing? They're telling you now that they are helping or giving support to private health institution. The question of universal health care is a right, and we must fight for that. What is going to happen in the system is a situation where when you're sick and you go to Georgetown Hospital, they will tell you, the doctor there will diagnose what your problems are. And if it requires a surgery, you will now be directed to the private hospitals for the surgery to be done. What them people is doing is really passing state money, money, to their friends and cronies in the private sector. And we need to come out against it. Don't tell me that these men who are making these investments, they are Guyanese. Don't tell me that. What I want to tell you, that whenever they do it, you need to consider many of you in here who can't afford to pay the health services bill at a private hospital, and you live in a society where politics is everything, and you will not be able to get to that private hospital because somebody who is political will not want to give the authorization.
Yeah, now it's Mr. Lincoln Lewis himself, the General Secretary of the Ghana Trades Union Congress. And folks, if you believe, to be true what Mr. Lewis is saying, that you got a responsibility to share that with others. And that's why we say, share the life, good folks. I see some of you saying in the comments, beat and teach. Beat and teach. It's the facts. Facts are stubborn things. Facts are very, very stubborn things. Beat and teach. Yvette, Graham, Andrew Griffith, Sharon Castillo, Annette Cummins, and Deborah and all the other folks. Facts are stubborn things. See some of you saying, beat and teach. That's what you got to help do that too. But share the live, folks. Share the live. Smash that emoji button. Deborah Griffith, Don Sullivan, and all you other folks out there. We got a responsibility. I have a responsibility. You see, I got a responsibility as a citizen, as a member of parliament. You know, I got a responsibility to listen to what the people are saying and make it known to others, make it known, you know, in the National Assembly as well, where we try to formulate policy. But as Mr. Lewis said, them boys ain't giving you no space. You see, we got to fight for them. We got to fight for that space. Below the belt, in the ring, we got to fight for that space. You see, we got to fight. And they thought, as part of locking us out of the state media, part of locking us out of state media, you wouldn't hear our voices. You would know the truth. All right? But thanks to the advent of social media, see now they're running on social media with programs of their own. It's the funniest thing. They got Chronicle, you know, they got the Room, they got the News, they got DPI, they got NCN, all them kinds of places. They're on social media, having independent programs like us. Who knew? Who knew? You know, it's funny to us. Folks share the live, smash that emoji button. Some other things happening. So that was on the Labor Day front. We got some other things happening as well. You know, a fellow found with multiple stab wounds at a bar in Vredenhoek. Just visited his aunt, who he said is visiting from overseas. Was visiting an aunt who is visiting from overseas, right? And the fella is Wahab, known as Ricky. And the aunt said that he was imbibing. You know, he was inebriated, he was drunk. Buy my dictionary from Austin. He was imbibing, he was inebriated. The fella was drunk when he came to see her. And she said, you know, Ricky, you know I like seeing this condition. You see, go home and get a rest. Let me talk tomorrow. Go home and get a rest and let me talk tomorrow. The folks said he was in the vicinity of Strikey's bar there in Vredenhoek. And, you know, he was a handyman, a cart pusher, they say, at Stanbrook Market. Lives at Harlem on the West Coast. Wahab, that's his name, also known as Ricky. And got into a confrontation with somebody in that area. Right? He was attacked. Looked as though he was robbed from the reports we have. Yeah. That's where we are in the crime front of this country, folks. You know, and we point out the fact that Trinidad's serious about crime. You know, we saw last week the police force handing over a crime plan, you know, to their equivalent of the Home Affairs Minister. They're serious there about crime. We promised a crime plan since the People's Progressive Party, who helmed the administration, since they were campaigning. They said they have a crime prevention plan, you know. And you might not have been able to prevent Ricky from being killed, right? But there's the other things we do that allow people to know, if you step outside of the law can be harsh with you. You want to take a life, you're going to have your life taken. And I say without apology, we got to bring back the hangman. We got to bring back the hangman. The way life is taken in this country with impunity needs a strong response. Needs a very strong response. That being said, you know, I never thought the day I'd see, you know, PPPC mentioned in front of the name of Tricia Richards, former APNU AFC councillor at City Hall. Never thought I'd see the day, but she's complaining. She's complaining of harassment by an APNU councillor. Folks, if you can't stand the heat, you're going to come out of the kitchen. And I don't know if, based on some of the stuff I've read recently, by young Richards, if she's very suited for politics. This very move, this very move is one that reeks of political immaturity. And now she's complaining. Action is got reaction. What? You thought you would, betray people who support you, disappoint them, and we'd all just sing Kumbaya and you gone off into the sunset with the riggers in red? That's how you thought it would happen? She said she's being harassed. She's being harassed by an APNU councillor. Right? Being harassed. Wow. Well, if you can't stand the heat, you can't stand the heat. You got to come out of the kitchen. There's some things that comes with the territory of politics, But some people this is not running for Miss Congeniality or Mr. Congeniality. People are not going to talk nice things about you all the time or treat you in the best of ways. Sometimes I walking down the road, people throwing all kinds of hints. Right? People say all manner of things about you on social media. That comes with the territory. If every time you stop, every time somebody says something, right? Do something, and you are detained by those things, you're not going to do very good at all in politics. Right? You're not going to do very good in politics at all. If you can't stand a little heat, you're going to come out of the kitchen. Right? Come out of the kitchen. And as the folks say, like the one in Linden, we can talk about it tonight. Tonight we got Sharma Solomon. Tonight we're talking with Sharma Solomon in the ring. I'm happy you raised that. All these people in politics now, the skins are thin. You remember the other one? He was what? Emotionally distressed. The skins are thin. These things come with the territory, right? So they carry me to court. I still fighting them more bad. More bad. You see? They start calling your names, Trisha, up the pressure. If you think what you're doing is good, keep on doing it. Do more of it. But this, they don't like me story. Come on now. If you're going to be PPP, be a strong PPP person. Be a strong PPP person. Right? Be a strong PPP person. But this, they don't like me. They don't like the color of the dress I'm wearing, the lipstick I got on. They don't like the jeans I'm wearing. They don't like my haircut. Come on, folks. Raphael Trotman said something that has stayed with me. Veteran politician Raphael Trotman, former chairman of the Alliance for Change, former leader of the Alliance for Change, former member of Parliament and Speaker of the National Assembly. He said, politics, y'all taking notes now or teaching? Remember chalk and talk. He said, politics is the art of taking blows and giving blows. And this cry story, like you want a little nursing bottle. Oh, they're like you. Oh, mommy, baby, coochie. They're like you, mommy, baby, cooch. They're like you now. Come on now. Politics is the art of taking blows. Things not nice all the time. In a rough 1 or 2 times. And then you can get the opportunity to return blows. You will have the opportunity to return blows as well. Right? Oh, a counselor harassing you, harass them back. Now you going crying. You going crying. Oh, Jags, help me now. Help me, girl now in Lane Avenue. They don't like me. They're responding negatively to me crossing the aisle. Come on, folks. Wake up, young Richards. Wake up. You want a little bottle in mouth? Oh, could you? Oh, they like you. I'm coming and put you every day out there. Politics is the art of receiving blows and giving blows, young Richards. So suck it up and let's get on with it. Suck it up and let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Sadly, over the weekend, folks, we lost two of our young people, one at Linden, and I think one on the quarantine as well. You know, went swimming, relaxing, and trying to have a fun time. And unfortunately, you know, we saw them lose their lives. And we want to say our thoughts and our prayers go out to these families. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to them. You know, two of our teenagers, they're our young people. This country's small. Always one family. And the photograph we have up is of Nathaniel Nelson, and they tell us this is minutes before he went into the Crabwood Creek. Sorry, he went into the Quarantine River. He's from Crabwood Creek. This photograph is minutes before he went into the Quarantine River. Our thoughts and prayers go to his family. And then we have young Anthony Gordon from Linden, who lost his life. Teenagers. Nathaniel was 14 years old. 14 years old. And Anthony Gordon was 13 years. Student of Wismar Christianburg Secondary School. And he drowned in a place called Bucktown Creek at Wismar. You know, Nathaniel Nelson lost his life in the Quarantine River over the weekend. And our thoughts and prayers go out to this family. You know, our thoughts and prayers go out to them. And we got to be careful. You know, you go to, it's like a designated driver. You go even on an outing to have fun. Somebody got to be standing back. You know, not involved in all the festivities and looking on. You know, to bring guidance. Somebody got to be that person who went drinking, who went partying, who went swimming and so on, and just keeping a watchful eye over. We got to protect our young people as much as we can, as far as we can. We got to protect our young people as far as we can. All right? And this is part of that bill that you heard Mr. Lewis referring to, that the spy bill. That's what folks are referring to as the spy bill. Even the Bar Association, led by this very beautiful young woman, Miss Chase, attorney at law, you know, even the Bar Association don't like this bill. Even the Bar Association says that this bill is will impede on attorney-client privileges. Even the Bar Association says it's impeding on the legal profession, right? And Ms. Chase, as far as I know, is PPP. And if the Bar Association president, Pauline Chase, very beautiful Pauline Chase, and the Bar Association, they're raising concerns concerning this bill, then what else you want to hear? They want to spy on Guyanese. They want to take away, you know, or as the Bar Association president says, Ms. Chase, they want to, these are efforts to erode the legal professional privilege for those in the profession. They want to erode the legal professional privilege. Folks, this is Russia all over again, you know. This is Medvedev and Putin. This is Dictator's Handbook. These fellas reading all over again. And if they're complaining, you know, if they're complaining, the Bar Association that goes into long periods of slumber, they're complaining. See, you got to watch them. Watch them, boys. You got to watch them. So the Bar Association, you know, complaining that this thing here is trouble. Right? This thing here is problems. We can continue to watch. It's on every front they're trying, you know. On every front. Look, Anouk came out over the weekend as well. And Anouk, the party, a new and united Guyana. You got about 3 of them in Anouk. And they're saying that the 3 of them in Anouk, that constitute Anouk, they're calling on the government to come clean on the Home Affairs PS. May Toussaint Jr. Thomas. That's one person, you know. Come clean. Anouk saying that the story not adding up. That the PPP telling this country and telling them to come clean on me. Come clean. The PPP got one of the most fantastic stories, Neon Harding. Fade over. When he pull out the little bits together, because they ain't give it no comprehensive story. Why didn't they release May's report to Robeson Ben to the public? If they believe in transparency and good governance, why didn't they release the report? Release it to the public. One of the most fantastic story, fade over. June Cameron, Annette Cummins, Maureen Williams. Fantastic story. Anouk said, come clean. Anouk said to come clean. So it's not just the parliamentary opposition. It's not just APNU AFC. Anouk, members of civil society, private citizens. This story is nonsense that you're all trying to sell to us here. We ain't buying it. That's what people are saying. We're not buying this story you're selling. Come clean. Come clean. Let us understand. This Dolly House business. When you listen to Robeson Ben, Irfan Ali, what's routine? You walk into the airport and you visa revoked. How many of their visas have been revoked in that fashion? Maybe it's routine for them to be traveling through some place, heading to the States perhaps, directly, and the visa gets revoked. How many visas have been revoked since 2020? How many of them have been sanctioned in this manner? And we say, yeah, come clean. Yep. Gotta come clean. Right? Because the program was going topsy-turvy due to the blackout, we had to bring some of these issues earlier, but we spoke of what transpired on Labor Day. Better living standards. We got the resources, we got to treat our workers better. Those are some of the messages we heard. Heard from, again, Mr. Lincoln Lewis, General Secretary of the Ghana Trade Union Congress. Heard from him as well on those issues. And finally, folks, finally, this is a heart-wrenching story. Another teenager who we lost over the weekend. This is at the West Demerara Hospital after he was admitted for abdominal pains. The amount of horror stories we hear coming out of the West Demerara Regional Hospital. I don't know if it warrants closing down, a thorough investigation before they close it down. What? But the health authorities got to take West Dem Hospital in hand. They got to take West Dem Hospital in hand. You know, people who live overseas in the diaspora, work overseas, they marvel. You know, they marvel when they encounter our system again, our healthcare system. You know, people live through that. When some folks came here and saw how we were treating with COVID-19, they were in dismay, perplexed at our management, our COVID governance. So Glenstone Drix, 16 years old, you know, from tuition housing scheme, lost his life at the West Dem Regional Hospital. Complained of abdominal pains, they tell us. According to his family, he was taken to the emergency department at the hospital, complained of abdominal pain, and was urinating blood. Urinating blood. Now, for all the billions you hear about given out to this, that, even the health sector, they said they didn't have the medication to help to ease his pain. He was admitted, I believe, on Friday. They said he wouldn't see the doctor until Monday last week. He has serious abdominal pains and he's urinating blood. Serious abdominal pains and he's urinating blood. They say he can't see, admitted Friday, Andrew Griffith. They say he can't see the doctor until Monday. And medication to relieve his pain, they don't have it. The reports tell us that his family procured the medication externally, brought it back to the hospital, and they're arguing they believe it was never administered. Yep. And this 16-year-old Glenson Drix, somebody's son, somebody's grandson. See, patient reported he went to use the washroom. He didn't come back. They want to believe he fell in the washroom. He was found by another patient. He was found by another patient in the washroom. Yep. That is what has become. That is what has become public health care is luck and chance. Like a raffle. You go in and you don't know if you're coming out. How could somebody in a modern healthcare system go into a hospital, complain of abdominal pains, and you gotta wait 3 days, 4 days to see a doctor? 3-4 days to see a doctor. Oh, that's apnufa. You go in hospital Friday, pee and blood, and you gotta wait Monday to see a doctor? Jesus have mercy. Yolanda Thomas, I know you're the top side. You in the diaspora in North America, that could happen there. You check into hospital, a young man, 14. What it must be as a parent to have to see a child writhing in pain and you can't do nothing. Hospital don't got the medication. You went and you buy it outside, they can't even get the child it. Friday, Monday, you got to see a doctor. When them boys get sick, they jump on a charter plane and they go in Miami. But you and I, even the public health system, You see? You're making it. What are we doing? All the billions, all the billions, all the billions. It's luck and chance. Luck and chance. Luck and chance. It's a raffle. Luck and chance. 16 years old, Glenston Drix has lost his life. You know? And this is why I make the point of people who, health professionals, Guyanese health professionals who work in the diaspora. They said people dying in Guyana still in the 21st century for things they got cure for and things people find cure for years ago. People still dying in the health system in this country. You check in your 16-year-old in a hospital. Friday, they tell me, Monday you can see the doctor. You're peeing blood. Jesus. Jesus. Father of his mercies. You know, look at this young man. Look at this young man. Full of life. Beautiful 16-year-old. Should be out there doing the things teenagers are doing. Dead and gone. You know? And so many have died in this healthcare system due to negligence. And you know what is even more sad? Many others will follow. Many others will follow. They say healthcare is free in this country. It is really free. Every public health system ain't got no medication, ain't got no doctors, ain't got nobody. I understand why it's free. He checked in, no medication, no doctors. You got to wait 4 days. Folks, Glenston Drix didn't live in Aicholi, you know. He ain't living in Paramakatay. West Dem Hospital is round the corner. You jump on a speedboat at the back of Starbuck Market. 5 minutes, you're free to hoop. You go around the corner, it's West Dem. It's not an hour away from the city. Right? It's not a 5-hour plane flight. It's not 100 miles. And if around the corner, you gotta wait 4 days. That's why, don't give any fancy talk. Oh, you're building capacity, telemedicine, and all this foolishness. If right around the corner, a 16-year-old peeing blood, severe abdominal pain, can't see a doctor for 4 days, has to die. What nonsense you can tell me, Air Finale? What nonsense you can tell me, Bar Jagdio? What nonsense you can tell me, Frank Anthony? And these are the hard questions reporters got to put to these jagabats. Frank, how come in the 21st century, a 16-year-old got to wait 4 days in your healthcare system to see a doctor? How come? With all that y'all been saying, how come, Frank? How come? You know, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Glenston Drix. Our thoughts and prayers go to them. You know, I wish they sue the hospital and the government and all of them for a lot of money. That's the next step. People can't just die and you go on. Life goes on. Who knew the contribution Glenston Drix could have made to this country? Who knows? Your child just dead? Gone. That's it, you know. I know what's a wonder? They're cheering here, you know. They're cheering and go to private hospitals, right? Might even go to private hospitals locally. Right? And definitely the churning in the school system here. You could be a president of the whole country. You talk about how good the primary and secondary schools are, but you cheering and going there. You see? You ain't got no shame. No shame. And these same jagabats, they can be coming around. I said to myself, they can be coming saying, vote for we. Vote for we. Oh boy. Vote for we. Right? Vote back for we. Vote back for we. You ask Glenston's parents and family, they'd vote for them. Put them in charge of healthcare again. Ask them. 3 years in, what excuse you have? See, you gotta wait 4 days. Jesus. It's only pride making like bus cry. Only pride. Grandson could be any of our kids. Any of our kids. If I had started early, could have been my child. See, I got a 14-year-old. See, my eldest, could be anyone to be cheering. And that's it, you know. Oh. See what George said, blame it on APNU. You see, blame it on APNU. Like everything else, it's APNU. It's them. 3 years we know, it's APNU. Folks, that's going to do it for our time this morning. We're going to see you guys back on the podcast today. We're going to see you guys back on the podcast at 12, and then we're going to final program for the day. We'll find it out in the ring. In the ring. Share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button as well. Thanks for joining our broadcast today. It means the world to us. And go one step further and share that live, folks. Smash that emoji button and partner with us as well. And we want to let you know if you need, you're looking for a legal professional that's going to help you with all your documentation needs. All of your documentation needs, the Alistair Collins firm. The Alistair Collins firm. Get the answer you need, folks, with the Alistair Collins firm. As a commission of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace, they provide expert guidance and support for all your documentation needs. They're open Monday through Saturday at the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. On Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410, 649-6410, 685-6448, 685-6448. Share the live before you go, folks. Smash that emoji button. Partner with us as well. This is how we do it. We are available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal. We are available via MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union as well. Every cent you partner with us with, folks, your gift goes towards the furtherance of these programs to bring you valid and credible information. Before you go, share the live. It's a new month. We got to set our bills from the last. Smash that emoji button as well and partner with us. That's going to do it for us at this end. Good, folks, that's going to do it for we. Thanks for joining us, and we're going to see you on the next broadcast. Until such time. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. Lennox Anderson, Brenda Casey, we see you there, Brenda. We see you there. We see as well Horace and Ziggy and Selena Fraser. Good to see you, Selena, joining us all the way from, I think it's Ontario, if not Waterloo, from Canada. That much we know. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, Selena, and all the other folks who are joining us. We're going to see you guys back on the podcast. Stay safe out there. Stay safe. That's it. That's our time. That's our program.